In this episode of Ask James, I'm going to show you how you can speed up your guitar playing. Hi and welcome to episode 2 of Ask James. Great to have you here. Again, it's just me in my studio, live, uncut, kind of live, filmed live without too much editing, just a few close-ups and a bit of cropping and just to make things a bit clearer. But here it is, warts and all, just me answering questions which people like you have sent in. And I hope you enjoyed episode 1, all about pinch harmonics. If you haven't checked that out yet and you're having a few problems with your pinch harmonics, then check that out. It's on my YouTube channel and I'm sure you'll find that will help you get those squealers really happening in your playing. Now, had a ton of questions on my Instagram page and a couple of emails about speeding up your playing. Now, this is a really popular subject, obviously. I mean, most of us want to be able to play a little bit faster than we can. Some of us a lot faster than we can. So how do we go about doing this? Well, watch all the way through to this video because I'm going to give you tons of tips and I'm also going to give you a kind of step-by-step process in about 3 steps later on in this video. So do watch all the way to the end. There's also a tab book which you can get which goes with this lesson, which has all the examples I'm going to use and briefly outlines the 3-step process. And there's also a few bonus things chucked into that tab book, a couple of other exercises and licks for you to try out with this 3-step process. So if you want that after you've watched this, you can click on the link underneath this video and get yourself the tab book. Okay, so about speeding up your playing. How do we do it? Well, before I take you to this 3-step process, I want to just outline a few basic principles. And these are kind of important, but I just want to make you aware of these before we get started. The first thing is you have to start slow. Now, I know this is boring. I know you just want to pick up your axe and just like shred, you know, we'll do. But you've got to start slow, and there's a reason for that. Because when you're starting to try and learn something new, a new lick or a new technique or something, you have to remember you're actually training your fingers to work in a certain way, okay? Now, if you were learning any other new skill like driving or ballroom dancing or some kind of martial art, you know, you wouldn't just jump in there and start trying to do everything 100 miles an hour. You have to break it down, slow it down, and learn the little bits that make up the complete picture, sort of slowly and one at a time. And it's just like that with learning the guitar. So don't be tempted to rush in and play everything fast and sloppy, because it's just, I mean, I've wasted loads and, you know, hundreds of hours in the past doing that. It really doesn't pay off. So it's a natural urge we have just to like dive in and like really try and go for it. Try and hold yourself back because it's worth it, and you'll find you'll actually progress better and your practice time will pay off more. So that's the first thing. Make sure you also know the exercise or the lick or whatever it is you're going to work on speeding up. It's no good trying to play something quickly if you don't even know the lick very well, okay? So again, a bit of preparation before you dive in will really help you pay off. Use a metronome or a backing track or a drum loop, whatever you prefer. A metronome is great because you can just speed it up and slow it down so easily. You can do that with drum loops too, of course. Backing tracks, maybe not so much, but of course you get the backing in there, which is quite, you know, more fun to maybe play along with than just a basic drum beat. So yeah, get your backing track, your metronome, your drum loop happening, and get the exercise in time, okay? We've all heard people who's playing away, then they start to speed up, and by the time they get to the end of their fast lick, they're hopelessly ahead or hopelessly behind the beat, you know? It's got to be in time. So when you're practicing all this stuff, really be strict with yourself about getting it in time, okay? Mega important, that point. Okay, next point. If you've got a sort of long lick or a long exercise you're trying to learn, break it up into chunks, okay? Again, makes it much easier, much more manageable, and you make progress quicker. You feel like you're getting somewhere, which makes you want to do it more and makes you, makes you feel good and makes you feel like you're improving. So just break the longer phrases up into short chunks. Work on them in chunks, add them together. Again, really pays off. Really good practice technique. One that I've found out, you know, the hard way after wasting loads of time trying to just do it the wrong way. So that's point 3. Break things up into chunks. Okay, Point 4. Now, this is a good point here. Is I used to just learn exercises, mechanical exercises, and for my picking or my legato or whatever it was, and I'd work on the exercises, and then I think, oh yeah, I can play the exercise, and then I go to improvise, and I couldn't actually use any of what I learned. Now, I had a comment from someone today on my Instagram page about this very point. It's like, how do you actually start to get the technique, exercises, and things you're working on into your playing? We're going to be covering that today in this lesson, but I would like to suggest that maybe rather than taking exercises and then trying to put them in your playing, try and turn it around the other way. Think of things you want to use in your playing and then how you can build them up to speed so that they'll just fit into your playing. So rather than taking the exercise, forcing it into your playing, think of what kind of stuff do I want to play and what do I want to play fast? And then either find some licks or make up some licks of your own, which you're going to use, which you like the sound of, which you want to be part of your playing. Do it that way round. Makes a lot more sense. And also then you're not stuck with all these exercises which you can reel off at 200 beats per minute, but you can't actually use in your playing. Really easy to fall into that trap. I definitely have done in the past. Now I'm much more aware of trying to integrate stuff into my playing as soon as I can. So we'll get into that a little bit later on when I'm going to show you some licks and things you can use, and they're all sort of things that would fit in a solo. They're not just mechanical finger exercises. Okay. Other thing to do, make up exercises, write out exercises for yourself which focus on problems you have. If you're having problems with using your little finger, again, we're going to deal with this today because I've had quite a few comments about this over the last week or so. People saying, my little finger's weak, I can't stretch my little finger, all this kind of stuff. Well, make up some exercises which really emphasize stretching the little finger, strength of the little finger, that kind of thing. And then you're really working on your problem areas, okay? And that's when they'll start to get better. So there's just 5 important principles there. They're all listed for you in the tab book, or just drop them down or whatever, just before we get started, okay? So let's dive in now and start having a look at this 3-step process that I'm going to take you through. Okay, the basic idea behind this is that if we're going to push our speed, to start with, we can't keep it going for very long. I'm sure you've found that, where you've taken a lick, you get up to speed, you play it once, you try and play it again, and it completely goes wrong. I mean, we've all been there. So the sort of idea behind this method that I'm going to show you is to try and avoid that and gradually build up the speed by getting it right once at a good speed, then trying to play it twice at a good speed, then trying to play it 3 times, and then you can keep on adding more till you can loop it round and round. I call it the 1, 2, 3 sort of principle, or 1, 2, 3 method, because it's like you play it once, play it twice, play it 3 times, and it works really well because you're not pushing yourself to the point where you're just going to fall over every single time. Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate that for you now. I'm just going to use a metronome, and I'm going to show you now the first example that I'm going to use for this, and have a go at playing along with me and try this exercise in your practice routine. Now, I've tried to select things which are licks which hopefully you'd use in your playing. This is a kind of lick you'd hear Slash or Randy Rhoads or Zakk Wylde play. It's actually very like one of the licks that Rhoads plays in his Mr. Crowley solo. I'm sure you probably recognise it if you're familiar with him. And it's in C minor pentatonic. So just for you guys and girls who may be not quite sure about C minor pentatonic, very quickly, here's the pattern that I'm going to be using for this lick. It's starting at the 8th fret. 8 up to 11 on the E string, 8 to 10 on the A string, 8 to 10 on the D string, 8 to 10 on the G string, 8 to 10 on the B string, and 8 to 10 on the top E. I'll play again. Now, most of you would know that. It's normally the first scale pattern that we learn. But if you don't, maybe stop the video, have a quick look at that scale pattern, and just so you can get the most out of this lesson. Right, so the first lick is using that. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're starting on it's only on the top 2 strings of this scale shape. I'm going to pick 11. I'm using my 3rd finger for that. And I'm going to pull off to 8. Then I'm going to play the 11th fret on the B string. 8th fret on the top E, and I'm going to play 11 down to 8 on the B. So again, it's sort of just really just a basic blues type lick, or sort of blues scale based rock lick. I'll play it around slowly a few times so you can see what it's happening in that lick. So we've got this. And it's played in sextuplets, which is groups of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that, okay? So that's the first lick. I'm going to take you through this 1, 2, 3 process now. So the first thing is we find a comfortable speed that we can play the lick round at, okay? So this is going to be our cruising speed. This is like before step 1 we need to do this. So I'm going to say my cruising speed is 80 beats per minute, let's just say. So I'm going to set my metronome to 80 beats per minute. And let's say I'm quite comfortable looping the lick around at that speed, okay? In fact, I'm going to slow it down a little bit just so it's a bit more manageable for everyone if that's a bit quick. So let's say I could play it like this. Okay, so that's my cruising speed. So what you need to do with this lick is find your cruising speed, or any lick you're working on. Find the cruising speed at which you can comfortably play it round without feeling like it's going to go wrong, or without feeling like you're really pushing yourself. It's like your current comfort level, okay? That's your cruising speed. I'm going to say now I want to get my cruising speed up higher. So I'm going to jump up to 80, and I'll put my metronome up to 80. Now, let's assume that this speed at 80, I can't loop it round because it goes wrong. So what I'm going to do is play it once, and then in a second I'll play it twice, then I'll play it 3 times. And this is the 1, 2, 3 process. So this is what I would do first of all. I'll put my metronome on, and I'm going to play the lick once with a gap in between. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. Okay, now this is just where I've had it set. It's really important. If that's too quick for you or whatever, slow it right down. Do this at your level. I just can't do it at every possible level for everyone. This is just an example. Find the level that suits you. So that's once. Okay, now I'm going to play it twice at that speed. And the thing is by gradually tacking another repetition on, I'll get to the point where I can loop it round. Sort of endlessly, really. So here it is twice. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. When that's happening, you can add on a third one. So I'll do that now. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. Okay? Then you might try just looping it endlessly. Try that. 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I can do that. So if I was working on this in my practice, I would then move the metronome up to like 85 or maybe 90 or something. So you're gradually raising that ceiling so that your comfort level, your cruising speed, gradually increases, so that when you're playing a solo, you can just sort of slot into that speed quite easily with your licks without it being a massive effort. Do you see what I mean? So I could keep on upping that, and a sort of a good target speed for groups of 6, a sort of a rule of thumb type approach, about 120 beats per minute. There's people that can do it a lot faster than that. It's good if you can do it faster than that, but that's a good sort of starting point to aim for, a good target. One really important thing I didn't mention before we move on. You'll notice when I was playing around with the metronome, I was targeting the click with a particular note in the lick. Let me show you what I mean. The first note in the lick needs to match up perfectly with the click on the metronome. If I'm doing this, then I know that my timing isn't going out in the middle. Hopefully that really makes sense. I'm going to slow it way down and show you what I mean. So here's the first note in the lick. It's the 11th fret on the top E. It's really important that I get that lined up with a click. If it doesn't, then I know something's going wrong in the middle. If I'm here, you know, I can hear that's ahead, okay? So I know that I'm playing it too fast. So it wants to line up perfectly. Okay. That's lick 1 anyway, and that's the 1, 2, 3 process. So what we're going to do now is I'll take you through a few other licks, which you can apply this principle to, and then of course try it with all sorts of other things as well. So lick 2 is sort of, again, a similar kind of thing, a bluesy type lick that Slash or Zakk Wylde or one of these guys would play. It's actually similar to a lick Slash plays in the Sweet Child of Mine solo. He plays in E. We're going to do it in C. And what we're going to do is bend up the 11th fret on the B string. We're going to play the 8th fret on the top E. Then we're going to pull off the 11th to the 8th fret on the B string. And it's like this. So let's put on our metronome. I'm going to keep it up at 80 for now. And let's see how we do. So let's say this is my cruising speed. And I might try and whack the metronome up in a bit and see what I can do with that. So I'm going to try playing it once. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. But I can do that, so I'm going to do it twice. Again, the bend needs to line up with the click. 3, 4. 3, 4. Then I can play it 3 times. 4. So I'm just pushing myself. See if I can loop it endlessly. Okay, I'm going to stick the metronome up a little bit. Let's put it up here. So I'm going to do the same process. This is 100 and 100. 3, 4. 3, 4. Twice. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3. 3, 4. And more. And so on, okay? So that's the process you can go through. Try that lick as well, and that'll help you get that one up to speed. But hopefully now you're seeing this this method that you can use. Spend it, you know, I'm just demonstrating it, so you'll probably spend longer on playing each one once, and then spend longer on playing each one twice. You know, don't rush the process, but that's what you can use. You know, I can play those now, but that's because I've done this with them in the past. You know, I didn't just get out of bed one day and be able to play them comfortably at 80. I had to start at 50 or 60 or whatever and work it up. So, you know, wherever you're at now, just start where you are now, work up from there. Okay, let's have a look at the third example. This video is getting a little bit long, so stick with it because you will get something out of it. And this one's more of a left hand type thing. It's actually on one string using a lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs. And I put this one in there because a lot of people are saying, have trouble, you know, my fingers are kind of a bit sloppy, not in my, I can't use my little finger, this kind of stuff. So I chucked this lick in here, sort of partly as a little finger and left hand exercise. It's using all 4 fingers, so it's quite a good one. It's not so blues based as the other one. You know, no bends or anything in it. Just a really good left hand hammer-on exercise. Let's have a look at it really slow. And what I'm doing here, I'm playing 8 on the top E. I'm pulling off to 5 on the top E. Then I'm hammering on my 3rd finger to the 7th fret, and hammering on my little, and pulling off back to 5 again. Sorry, so we get this. That's the first bit of it. I'm playing 8, pulling off to 5, 7, pulling off to 5. I'll loop that round slowly for a second. Now this is groups of 4, which are called 16th notes. Each beat is split into 4, and a good target speed for 16th notes is about 160. You know, the great players can get them up to 100 and beyond, really, but 160 is a great sort of place to aim for initially if you can't play at that speed already. So you can work up to that one. So that's the first bit of that lick. Then what we do, we're hammering back onto 7, hammering onto 8, pulling off back to 7, pulling off to 5, okay? So here it is once. Now in this exercise, I wanted to give you some few different ways and stretches and things. So we're actually going to play that twice. Then we're going to move up to here and we're going to do the same pattern, but the note's going to be different. So we're going to pull 10 down to 7 on the top E, then 8 to 7 on the top E, then 8, 10, 8, 7. Okay, it's all tabbed in the book, so get the tab and that will really help you learn it here. Because I don't want to be taking hours to go through this, or the video is going to be so long that no one will watch it. So just trying to get through it here. We're going to pull off 12 down to 8, and then 10 to 8, then 10, 12, 8, sorry, 10, 12, 10, 8. I'll do that again. 12, 8, 10, 8, 10, 12, 10, 8. So that bit's working on this stretch here between like your first and your little and your second and your little. Okay, notice I'm using my second finger there, not my third. Some people do it that way. I will do it both ways depending on what I'm playing, but for this kind of thing I find that works a little bit better for me, but see what you prefer. So if we do each one of those twice, I'll put the entire lick together now. We got second time on that one. Now move up to the top one and back again. Okay, now this is the kind of lick where I made this quite long, this one, so that I can show you breaking it up into chunks. This is what you've got to do with a lick like this. I'm going to set my metronome to 80. Imagine I've just started doing this and I can't really play it. And this is what you should do, okay? Probably need to start even slower than that, but I'll use this speed for now. Play it once. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. Let's do the same for the next pattern. Now the little gap stops us falling flat on our face, because it means we don't have to keep pushing ourselves. We have a little bit of recovery time. Let's go up here now, so 12 to 8. The stretchy one. Work on that one for a bit. And back down. And so on. So take each one of those separately through the process that I talked about. I'm just going to demonstrate that one. I won't put the whole thing together for you. I think you get the point. And I want to get the next example in. But I'm going to play this up at... No, I'll play it up at 110 here, whatever that is. 116, okay? So this is what you should do on this one. Try it twice when you're ready. Little gap, 3, 4. When you're ready, try it 3 times. 4. Get my little finger lining up with the beat. There. There. 3, 4. There. 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 Next one. Do it twice first, but I'll do it 3 times now. On the click. On the click. 3, 4. Little finger. There. There. Right on the click. And back down. You get the idea. So you can work out on that pattern. Great left hand exercise for getting those left hand fingers working, getting them smooth, getting good hammer-ons and pull-offs, all this kind of stuff. Okay, so that's exercise 4. I had to rush through that one a little bit. There's a lot of stuff you could do with that, but I think you get the idea. When you've got it, see if you can join it all up, doing each one twice. I'll quickly show you. Next one. Gradually push the metronome up, so I don't know where this is now. 132. Okay, so okay, and gradually work your way up to 160 and beyond if you want to be a fast player. Okay, that's lick number 3 there. So give that one a good going over. That will really help your left hand finger. All you people that said to me, left hand finger, little finger, who said have trouble getting my little finger behaving itself and my fingers are sloppy. Something like that will really help. To take it slow, train them. You want good, accurate, controlled movements from your left hand fingers, okay? And that will help you. So let's move on now and have a look at lick number 4. Again, this one might want to be broken up into chunks. Here's what it sounds like. I'm going to play it down at 80 again, just to get started off. So this is kind of like a sort of blues scale lick. It uses this little bit of the sort of extension pattern, the A minor pentatonic there, like 8 to 10 on the B string, 8 to 10 on the top E. Then we've got this little blues note we can add in here at the 11th fret on the top E. Okay, and it's just using that little pool of notes up there. Let's have a listen to it at this speed. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, again, you might want to break that one up. Let's say you're here, you might try going 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. Then add a bit more. Again, leaving a little gap in between. Then when you're ready, try the whole thing once, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Now when you're ready, you can put the metronome up, work up to this, and try it round. Want to put it up to more like 160. Here's your kind of target speed. Okay, do it once, add a bit. Okay, that'll help your little finger and everything. That's another good one for getting that coordination between your third and your little finger happening there. So check out that one. That's lick number 4, and apply that 3-step process to each of those licks and each little part of those licks if you need to break it up. And anything else you're struggling with, it works for anything. It works for changing between chords. It's just a process I wanted to share with you because I just find it really works. And then, I mean, in another video we'll look at how to integrate that into your playing, but I mean, you can also do this over a backing track, you know. So maybe you find a backing track in say that last one was in A, so find a backing track like probably like a rock type thing or funk type thing or whatever you like playing in A minor, and just practice playing. I'll just quickly demonstrate. So I've got my metronome here. I'm going to put it down there, so I'm going to play, got like an A minor vamp happening, just try and solo. So you just kind of put that lick in there. I mean, obviously that wasn't very quick. And kind of spontaneous demonstration of the point. Try and play a bit of a solo and then slot some of these faster licks in there. So you get them in, get out of them. So you get used to putting them into your solo without having to like psych yourself up and take a big breath. You know what I mean? You can start to sort of put them naturally into your playing, which is what we hear when we hear the great players play. Well, they'll put faster phrases, and it doesn't normally feel like it's a massive effort because they've practiced this kind of stuff and built up till they can do this. Right, I think I'm going to bump this video on the head now. I think it's long enough. I hope you made it all the way through. I know there's a lot of stuff in here, but I kind of, and it's a long one, but it's like if I didn't really demonstrate it, it wouldn't make a lot of sense. It would just be a load of stuff that wasn't much use to you. So I was taking up a fair bit of your time, but I think if you've got this concept sort of under your fingers, you can see how you can use it and apply it in your practice. It really will pay off. So if you can do me a little favor and like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you found this video good. Also leave a comment underneath. All this stuff helps my videos rank a bit higher so that other people will find them. So I'd really appreciate it if you can do that. If you want the tab book with the notes and the bonus examples, all you got to do is click the link underneath here and you'll be automatically sent that to your email inbox. But other than that, thanks for watching. I really hope you've got something out of this episode and episode 1. Now, this is going to be at least a weekly thing, this Ask James Guitar Show. So please get your questions into me. Anything you're struggling with, anything at all. It doesn't matter how basic you think it is, how silly you think it is. If you're confused about it, someone else out there probably is too, okay? And it can be confusing, things on the guitar. So I'm going to do my best to help. So email me your questions, okay? AskJamesGuitar@gmail.com. AskJamesGuitar@gmail.com. Email me your question. Obviously, if I get thousands of questions, I won't be able to answer them all. But I will try and get through them, okay? So any problems, let me know and I'll see what I can do. But thanks for watching. I'll see you in episode 3. Take care till then, and I'll see you next time.